Agolo sent me the F1 fermenter checkout and to demonstrate for you. This is marketed as a full brewing system which has turned some heads in the home brewing community. For you naysayers, if you just read on the box it says fermenter and cooler. And now we can get our mind started. Let's try this thing out. I'm Dr. Hans, this is Dr. Hans Brewery, my channel about beer and homebrewing. I unpacked everything yesterday, there will be no unboxing video because unboxing video sucks, but we could still give it a spin on my Lazy Susan. Smoking. This video is sponsored by Agolo, and I will link to Agolo's website, and if I find an affiliate link for the system I will link to that below also. And what did I mean with thinking about this as a fermenter and cooler? But it's so much more. But with these easy kits, and they sell me 3, it's a full-on brewing system. And if you're new to home brewing, why don't you start with these kits to get to know the machine? I set the machine up yesterday with the app on my phone to the Wi-Fi. It was simple as it could get when I remember my Wi-Fi password. But most of the stuff you can control straight on the machine itself, but you need to set it up to Wi-Fi to get the update. And there are stuff you might need the phone for, which we will come back just a little bit. My first look at this system, I think it was a little bit pricey. But when we think about what we actually are getting, we are getting a fermentation system which does pressurized fermentation, which I'm really into if you're new here to my channel, and it does heat control with both heating and cooling. So that means you don't need a spinning valve, you don't need a heat control system, you don't need a heater, you don't need a fridge. It's insulated. It takes SodaStream bottles, gonna show that in a bit. So it has an inbuilt gas regulator also. You get a fermenter, or aka a keg. Sorry. You get a serving system, so you don't need to build a kegerator. It's a countertop system and it looks really nice, and I really waited for the black one. So that's why my video might be a bit later if you have seen some videos on this before, because I really thought that this one looked cool. But it comes in black and a white and a mint. You also get a drip tray, a tap panel which you can change out. This thing doesn't only take this fermenter, it only takes commercial kegs. And with this one, you get 2 types of connection to those kegs. It takes at least 3 different kinds of commercial kegs. And besides these kits, which actually are the thing that makes it into Leia's not happy. Say hi to Leia, by the way. Besides these kits, which is what makes this into a full-on brewing system, you can ferment whatever you want in this. You can make kombucha, you can make wine, you can make all-grain beer, you can make shake and brew beer, you can make hard seltzer, you can also make sparkling water in this, serving it. Or you can make soda for the kids. So it's not an all-grain brewing system, but if I get a gallon, because this takes a gallon of wort, if I get a gallon of wort over, or if I just want to try a new yeast to try something different, just pitch a gallon of chilled wort in here. If I want to do shake and brew and use this as the fermenter, just do the hot part in a vessel that can take the heat and use this as a fermenter. Can you dry hop in this? Yes, certainly. I don't see why you couldn't do that. But for you to start really exploring this thing, they have this thing called a master mode, which actually is an upgrade for this machine. With this master mode, it unlocks the machine to be able to control every parameter of the fermentation. So you control the time. Not the time itself, but you can control the fermentation time, the fermentation schedule, control the temperature. Of course, I'm gonna use that. But if you're new to brewing, maybe you should just start with this before. In my machine here today, I have 4 different fermentation schedules, 2 for lagers and 2 for ales. But all these kits comes with a little code you can scan here. But right now I heard that master mode is included, but in the future this will be a paid upgrade. Let's set this up, try to brew a beer, taste the beer in the end, and also we'll come back to why I think you should upgrade to the master mode. I see now they also have an English Porter, a German Helles, a German Pilsner, and an Amber Pale Ale, I think it was. Can you double check that? Yes, thank you. Not only does they take those SodaStream gas bottles to serve the beer, because the beer needs to be pushed out from here with CO2 so you can actually serve the beer. It also has a built-in air pump. Maybe you're a party. We can ride disco, the superstar disco. We can ride looking like a superfly disco. Because this takes only a gallon, or you bought some Heineken style mini cakes or the other ones, and you don't have SodaStream gas canister, you can use air to pump it out. Air will ruin your beer, but not that fast. So if the idea is to drink a gallon of beer this evening at a party or something, you could definitely use the air pump. So they like sort of everything in this device. It would be really cool to try the S1 version also. You could have a perfect pair here. Means I got rid of that one, but you have the S1, you have the F1. Also would like some more of these kegs. These are also sold separately, so you can get more of these if you want to do like seal transfers and stuff. There's so much we could do here. Let's check out the SodaStream part. And I tried this yesterday because I was worried that this wouldn't take this kind of SodaStream that we have here. It works because it could be different for different countries. And you have an on-off switch here. Is this good content? Speaking of PSI, you can choose whatever system you want here. You want a metric system with liters, Celsius, bar, PSI. You can change it out to Fahrenheit and bars, or Celsius and PSI, liters, gallon, if you want to use the metric system or you want to use the birds and stones system. So everything should be set up now. I'm just gonna sanitize this, and if you look at cleaning this, you can get your hands in here with a clean cloth, get the Krausen ring off there, and everything should be really simple. You can even use my cleaning system to clean this. Can I do this without spilling anything? Probably not. Let's get some sanitizer in there. I also have sanitizer in here, so we are getting sanitizer in everything here. Spray everything down here. Leia doesn't like me spraying so much. And I'm just gonna see so everything touches. You should always check, of course, that pressure release valve is moving. Today I want to brew the Bavarian wheat. And why do I want that? Because I want a quick turnaround, and the wheat beer is a yeast driven beer. If you have any questions, let me know. I can pass those on to Aigulu. We get Bavarian wheat DME produced in the USA. And we're getting a dry wheat beer yeast, the RFID code. We need to scan the machine, and natural hops bitter extract. You don't even, when doing this kit, you don't have to measure anything. You just pour water up to this mark. I bought some store-bought water here today, but in Sweden we have really good water, so I wouldn't be afraid to use tap water in Sweden. Spring water, but you could use, of course, filtered water, RO water. For you who use the metric system, a gallon is just under 4 liters. Natural hops bitter extract, 15. See if we can get the last drops. Sprinkle the yeast. Add the malt extract without stirring. Most of us brewers would like everything dissolved, but the yeast will eat everything, but it will look nasty before everything is dissolved. We're almost up to that max mark. Next step, seal the fermentation tank. Yes, and it's an O-ring here that seals it, so be sure to press it down. And this just holds the lid, so this has nothing to do with the seal. Open the lid. It's a tall machine, I must say that. And be sure to close this, connect it to the keg. And now pull the top handle towards you. Fully see that this goes down to the bottom here of the spout. Lid back on. Get the lid back on. Brewing is ready. Let's start up the machine. Let's scan the card to get this machine started. Bavarian wheat, exit or next. Bavarian wheat fermentation process. 1 day at 16C, 8 days at 18C, and 2 days at 2C.
12 days later.
We are finally here at the tasting. Actually, just chill this glass. The beer is sitting at 2 degrees Celsius. Can we have some epic music for this? Thank you.
Dr. Hans in the lab with the F1 in hand. Poured half a vodka, yeah, it's ready to land. Golden haze, full rush, perfect to the core. When he pours it up, crowd's begging for more. And it more, feel the roar. Dr. Hans, hear the call. From the IQ F1 is the best of them all. Fall so high like it's such in the sky. Raise your glass, this legend will never die. Weed, spice, banana in the mix. Every drop's got the crowd transfixed.
That is a good... Is issue outside. That, my friend, is a good looking wheat beer. It's not as dark as you see it, more like that. So really nice color on this one. And this head, can you see? Tight head, everyone loves a good head. Please buy the t-shirt. Let's try to give this a nose through this. Bananery. Need to dive in. Cheers. That's a extremely nice wheat beer. So fresh. Has some sweetness, but I think that's well balanced on the bitterness. The carbonation level is really good on this one. You see the head is going nowhere. Really impressed with this beer. I can't buy wheat beer in a shop that is as good as this, but this is a super fresh beer, and from me brewing wheat beers, I really like my wheat beers fresh. Dr. Hans approves. For me, upgrading this to master mode is like a no-brainer because I want to take full control of fermentation of this machine. Of course, you can use the built-in settings, but maybe you want to push the fermentation a little bit longer. You want to drive the fermentation in the end like I do. As this is under pressure, I want to ferment way hotter than this. I don't think I ever fermented a wheat beer under pressure that cold because I'm always like trying to push things. In the next video, I'm going to do our own recipe using the master mode, which you need to upgrade now. But even if you stick to the Agula recipes, I still think you should upgrade this to the master mode. I would ferment it hotter, it would go faster, and also maybe you're opening the lid before the end fermentation. See, there's still krausen going on. You can still use the stickers and you scan them. Just more options. But in any time you can abort fermentation and dial in your own, or you can try to make your own schedules, and you can copy my experiments here in the future. So it's time to open up the envelope. Are you excited? The winner is Master Mode Quick Guide. Scan the master code, press yes button, scan the card again. Congratulations. Let's get this puppy opened. Ooh. Freely set the fermentation temperature 35.6 Fahrenheit to 86 Fahrenheit and fermentation time. Design your own recipes using the Agula app to create personalized custom brews. Freely control the air pump or CO2 cylinder for inflating or pressurizing. Monitor the temperature and pressure changes through the brewing process by the Agula app. Now we have this beautiful black premium Agula card here. So let us scan the master code card. Yes.
Upgrading Agulu F1 to master mode.
Wow! We will dive deeper in the master mode in the next one, brew a personalized beer, setting our own schedules and try everything, our own recipe, and also maybe we get some feedback from this video, from Agula or other viewers. If you have anything to say, please comment down below. One thing that I saw instantly after upgrading, the icons now look way cooler. I will show you in the next one. One reason that I said yes to this machine is because I think this will fit very well into the Shake and Brew series. And yeah, I have a playlist here, so go and check that one out. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one. Dr. Hans out.